what it is. If you're looking for some minimalistic and clutter-free ways to style your plants indoors, keep watching to find out how. Y'all know what it is. What's good, y'all? It's your girl Maisha, and I'll be giving you tips on how to create a sustainable home through plant styling like it should be in style, to create laws and policies that will protect women from men who can't accept no as an answer. My first tip would be to create a theme. I like to use references, so I created a private Pinterest board of different pictures and ideas that I would like to use as to guide me through my plant styling. The theme that I came up with was boho chic meets mid-century modern. I also created a theme before I went to go buy anything because I didn't want to just buy things all willy-nilly and have so much clutter. The whole goal for this for my plant styling project is to create minimalistic and very clutter-free spaces in my apartment. So once you created a theme and got a feel of what you wanted to do, then you want to start adding in the different things that you want to accentuate how you want your plants to, you know, look in your space. So my second tip would be to add wall shelves. I love wall shelves because it creates more of an open space, and it also gives your area a stylistic, you know, improvement in a sense. I knew that I didn't want my plants to be all up on the floor, bunched up together and everything. Like I said, I wanted to go minimalistic and clutter-free, so this definitely gave me more space to be able to add more plants to. And I'm right now I'm at about 50 plus plants, so having them all on the floor just wouldn't have been, or on one table, just wouldn't have been, you know, a good look for me. So I definitely recommended the wall shelves. And note that every thing that I'm going to be using is going to be linked in my Amazon shop in the description box below. I added the shelves based on my plants' lighting purposes, like a woman's preference to end a toxic relationship or to say no should not end in her death. Okay, I also kind of created low sections for the plants. So on, you know, one side of my wall that's closer to the window is my hydroponic station, my leca plants, my plants that are growing in water that needs like that bright indirect sunlight to thrive. In the middle of my wall is my medium to low light tolerant plants. I also knew that I wanted to add pictures to kind of like, you know, arts and everything to kind of like shape my plants as well, and have my plants kind of like floating around my artwork. And as you can see, the shelves that I decided to go with definitely sticks within like that rustic type of mid-century modern type of look and feel. The ones in the middle are, you know, in my cocoa core mixture that I created, and I will link it down below so that you can go check that out. And other benefits of wall shelves is, you know, if you have kids or if you have pets that likes to, you know, nibble on your plants, putting them up higher can, you know, keep your kids and pets from eating on toxic plants. And when picking wall shelves, you want to go with very stylistic ones, ones that'll really bring the plants out and really bring out your space so that you won't mind looking at them months and stuff down the line. That's why I always stick with, you know, neutral colors. Speaking of just like stylistic and pretty things, that brings me to the type of plant pots that you want to have sit on your wall shelf. As you can see from my hydroponic station, I love pretty pots or pretty vessels to basically host my plants in. The only thing and the only issue that I would say could arise with most pretty pots is that they don't have drainage holes. So if you are heavy-handed, honey, okay, like a lot of y'all beginner plant parents, then you might not want to go with the pretty pots. Or if you just love it so much you want to, you know, plant straight into it, then you can definitely create a false bottom like I did in my TikTok video when I added these wall shelves. So you can definitely check that out. I'll link it down below. Basically, you want to make sure that your plant pots are well drained and that it fits the type of plant that you're going to put into it. So, you know, as you can see with my hydroponic station, I have leca plants. I also have really pretty propagation planters. These both came from the Hilton Carter Tom's Target collection, and the white pots came from Target. I love like the feel that it, you know, the white and the brown and the feel that it pretty much gave that whole station. And obviously adding the air plants even gave it more of a funky like type of vibe type of thing. And also what you see in my hydroponic station is me reusing a glass mason jar to put my leca plants into as well. And it just depends on what type of display you want. You know, some people, they don't like to see the leca balls and the roots and everything grow out of it, but for me, I don't mind. I like to see that. Again, it fits in with my theme, and I just feel like it gives it a more natural type of look. You can repurpose certain jars, glass jars, you know, bottles, things like that to put your plants into. And you can also opt to drill a hole in any of the pretty pots that don't have the drainage holes, or any of the glass if you are handsy like that, okay? Because let me tell you, when I was drilling through my greenhouse cabinet, it kind of gave me a lot of anxiety, so I really don't even want to try it no more, okay? Another thing I want to say is a lot of people sleep on the rustic look of terracotta pots. I I for one love it. You know, basically when the mineral builds up around the terracotta pots in the water, this is not mold, it's just a mineral buildup. To me, it gives off a really good rustic look that I really like in my space. You can also opt for a very glazed ceramic type of pots too, like the ones that my bird of paradise is sitting in, my ficus Audrey is sitting in. You don't have to be stuck with just your regular nursery pots that they come in. Even if you don't want to add a drainage hole to your pot, you can take the nursery pot or the terracotta pot and put it inside of one of those, you know, pretty pots like I did with my bird of paradise. As you can see, my pots like to make a statement. They like to be the center of attention, honey, okay? They like to stand out. Like creating resources to protect women against crazed men should be the center of attention and focus. If you're loving this video so far, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you can be updated when I post new planting videos like this. But honey, you want to know what goes really good with beautiful plant pots? Even more beautiful plant stands. Done in place correctly, plant stands can be a game changer in your space. Like it'll be a game changer if more men were recommended to seek therapy or mental health services for their mental issues instead of taking it out on innocent women. You definitely want to add plant stands if you have plants all over the place, or if you have really tall plants like my Monstera deliciosa that has a moss pole. You don't want them to be cluttered up and bunched up and all over your floor like I had mine before I created this new setup. I had some on my son's activity table. I had some on a eating, you know, food eating tray, all of that stuff. Honey, don't do that, okay? Definitely get organized with your plants. I really love the new setup that I created with the plant stands that I also purchased from Amazon. I love that basically every plant looks like they have their own cubicle, their own space to thrive, you know, their own space to just kind of like branch out and grow. And it also ensures that they get the proper sunlight and they can just, you know, stand out on their own. Like I said, my plants like to be the center of attention, honey, okay? So then they all need to be seen. All their textures and colors and everything needs to be seen, all of their personalities, okay? As you can see, again, the brown, the wood, like the wood texture for me, it just gives like that natural vibe, the natural feel that I love, okay? Whenever I buy a house, it's definitely gonna be like kind of like a farmhouse, or you know, like kind of like miniature modern meets farmhouse. Make sure that they're sturdy too, okay? You don't want any stands that's gonna break on you or basically mess up your plants. I always look at the reviews before I buy anything to see what everybody else is saying about the particular product. And when you're adding a plant stand, you also want to make sure that they have their own space and everything. You don't want to bunch the plant stands up to where you can't really see the stand itself either, because it has its own character. You want the plant stands to help accentuate your plants and bring your plants out, like I did with the cubicle and the two plant stands on the end, and then on another wall is just like one plant stand that's standing alone by itself. Speaking of plant stand, now another great way to display your plants is through a display cabinet, or in my case, an IKEA greenhouse cabinet. If done correctly, your plant babies will really thrive in it, and it definitely becomes the center of attention when someone is walking into your space. The lights around it, you know, it depends on how you pretty much set yours up. I added a waterfall to mine to just kind of like, you know, bring in that kind of like foresty waterfall type of feel type of thing. And if you have not seen my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, I'm also going to link it in the description box below. The great thing about the greenhouse cabinet is that it's so versatile. You don't have to stick with just one look. Some people go for a very clean kind of like greenhouse cabinet like I did. I didn't want, you know, plants to be bunched up all over the place. Some people go for more jungle type of foresty kind of look. I've even seen trees in them, or some people even do something called a paludorm, which I have not attempted to do yet, but I've seen other, you know, planty people doing this, which is super creative. And if y'all want to see me do an updated video on my greenhouse cabinet to show you how my plant babies are thriving in it and which ones thrive the most in it, then definitely let me know in the description box below too. And just like the greenhouse cabinet, you can also opt to do a terrarium like I did in my TikTok video, which I'll link in the description box below as well if you want to check that out. Just like the greenhouse cabinet, it's very easy to maintain, very easy to clean. You don't have to water it as much. It's kind of like self-sustaining, and mine thrive best in, you know, bright and direct sunlight in front of the window. And there are different ways that you can do a terrarium. I've seen some people just do a moss terrarium, little small globes of terrariums too, and I've seen, you know, some people even opt for, you know, bow type of terrariums, or even like the one that I have. My terrarium box again came from the Hilton Carter Times Target collection, which I don't think they have any more of, but I'll link some similar ones in the description box below in my Like to Know It and in my Amazon shop as well. Another great plant styling idea is to add hanging baskets, hanging planters, and even something called a kokedama. So the reason why I really love hanging planters or hanging baskets is that it really, in my opinion, gives off that urban jungle type of feel that I think that we all pretty much aim for as plant parents, I love being able to walk into my space and just seeing plants hanging from the ceiling, or in my case, my light fixtures and on the wall. Unlike how it feels like women are constantly in a jungle fighting for our lives and our rights, when patriarchy increases femicide with little to no repercussions. Some other great benefits of hanging plants is that it gives your trailing plants, you know, space to trail down as long as they want to. I definitely want to see my golden pothos, my neon pothos, and my philodendrons just kind of like trail very, very long and everything as they continue to grow out. And they're also another great idea to keep away from your touchy-feely kiddos and those pets. Unless you got like a crazy cat that like to jump on everything and pull everything down, child, I don't mess with them, okay? I found these hand-woven hanging planters called macrame. I love, like, you know, the knit kind of look of them, the braided kind of look of them. It really gives off to me like that 70s type of vibe. Boho chic there, I'm definitely going for a type of vibe. So pretty. And I got the idea from an article on apartment therapy that was giving you like different ways to style your plants. Another great way to hang your plants is to create a kokedama, which is Japanese for a moss ball plant. The kokedama is very, very pretty to me. I got this idea from another planting creator called Benji Plant, who is also on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Benji Plant. He created a kokedama. I did mine a little bit different from his. His is pretty much wrapped in a moss ball, sphagnum moss. For me, mine's I created the ball of cocoa core first, and then, you know, put the moss around it and then tied it up and hung it. A kokedama can also be put in like a bowl or a globe or something and grown like that. It could last for 2 to 3 years depending on how fast your plant's roots grow out in it. When the roots start to grow around it, start to wrap around the moss, is when you want to go ahead and replant it. All in all, I hope this gave y'all some really good ideas on how you want to display your plants, how you want to plant style, how you want to create a sustainable home using plants. I've become obsessed with using plants as a way to create my sustainable home. Really just like give off that very, you know, greenery, serenity in my apartment. Plants have become a true therapy for me. I definitely have fun with planting them and seeing them grow. You really cannot go wrong with adding plants into your space. Now, what you could go wrong in is not protecting women or fighting for women who are being targeted by men and killed by men at a very disproportionate rate. Some of us, a lot of us have known so many women, or known at least one woman who has been a victim of domestic violence, or have also grew up in a household in domestic violence, or been a victim of domestic violence ourselves, you know, rape or anything like that. If you see that happening to a woman, if you're a man, if you see that happening to a woman, or if you're a woman, you know, definitely seek help as quickly as possible. Recommend them to seek help as quickly as possible so they can get out of these situations, because it does affect generations of people down the line. Not just that person being hurt by it, but family members also who has lost that person, or who in some situations, in a lot of situations, are also killed due to domestic situations, or just men attacking women for whatever reason because they don't want to give them a yes. Educate yourselves on femicide and how the majority of women who are killed is almost always done by domestic partner. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and if you or somebody you know is a victim of domestic violence, I'll definitely leave some resources down below so that you can, you know, check them out to see how you can get yourselves out of those situations. Do not wait until the last minute. Definitely speak out. Definitely keep fighting against it. You know, fight against it within your communities. Talk about it at your dinner table. Talk about ways to protect yourselves. You know, when you're going out to places, when you're with your friends at, you know, different bars and everything like that. Talk about worst case scenarios and stuff, because it is happening, and I don't want to see more young women and women just in general lose our lives to the hands of men who cannot control themselves or think they have so much power over women. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram to get more updates on how my plant babies are doing in real time. I like to just, you know, update y'all in Instagram stories. I'm even going to start going live on my TikTok and Instagram too, so definitely check me out at C365 Daily over there. And while you're here, you might as well go ahead and watch one of my other awesome planting videos, honey.